Hi everyone, Chef Anita here today. I'm going to show you how I make my basmati rice with a crispy tortilla crust and saffron in it. You're going to love it. This is what I'm making my family for dinner today. So I've soaked 4 cups of basmati rice in water just for a couple hours. I'm going to drain that rice off. And I have a big pot with boiling water in it right now on the stove. I'm going to walk over there. Oh, let me get the rest of that rice over there. And put this in there. Okay, so in this large pot, I have water. It's a rolling boil with a tablespoon of salt in it. I'm going to pour the basmati rice in here now. I'm going to drain, get all that rice out of there. And let me show you how I make my saffron mixture that's going to go inside or going to be drizzled on the rice, okay? So this is a mortar and pestle. It's marble. I was actually gifted it by my father-in-law. And here is saffron. I got this at TJ Maxx. And I'm just going to take a few threads. They're called saffron threads. Saffron is expensive, but it doesn't take a lot to have a really big flavor impact. Dry my hands off a little bit there. Okay, just like that much. Put it in my mortar and pestle with sugar. You need an abrasive, so it's going to help grind it up. Just a small amount of sugar, about half a teaspoon. Like that. And then take my mortar and pestle, grind it up. I'm going to make an infusion, like a saffron tea out of this, that's going to go, I'm going to mix with the rice. Okay, let me stir that real quick. Make sure it's not sticking on the bottom. Okay. Grind that up just a little bit better. Okay, so I ground that with the sugar, and then I'm going to add a little bit of hot water to this. Okay, you get a workout. Pour this into a cup. Just going to pour it into this clear teacup. It's all gone. And I'm just going to use a spoonful of this hot water from my rice. Maybe a couple spoonfuls. Let that infuse. This will help us steam our rice. And to this tea, I'm going to add a splash of rose water, about a tablespoon, and a small shake cardamom. Such a beautiful scent and flavor. Okay. Our rice is going to cook about 5 or 6 minutes. We're just parboiling it because we're going to steam it with our tortilla, crust. Okay. Hi, I drained the rice. It cooked about 6 minutes. So I'll drain here in a big colander. Now you can use a nonstick pot or whatever you want. I use cast iron skillets. This is a cast iron Dutch oven that I have. It's an antique actually. And I'm going to cook my rice with the crispy tortilla crust here in this Dutch oven. So turn your fire on. I already had this preheated, so it's already hot. So hot pan, cold oil, and your food won't stick as much. Sometimes not at all, especially cast iron. I'm going to use some coconut oil today. Get some good fats going. Okay, so get your oil melted in the bottom. And then you can use a whole wheat tortilla. Corn tortillas are great. I have a flour tortilla today that I'm going to use. And I've completely covered the bottom of this pot with oil. and go up the sides because this is gonna make like a cake. It's gonna be like a big rice cake. We're gonna flip it out. So just take your tortilla, put it on the bottom. It's going to completely cover the bottom of your pot, skillet, whatever you're using. Okay, and then put some rice on top of it. Turn your fire down lower, on low. Put a layer of rice. And then I have my saffron tea sitting here to the side. Actually, I'm going to put a little bit of my saffron tea right here over this as a layer to layer it up. Okay. And then just put the rest of your rice on top. Basmati rice can withstand long cooking time, so it's going to work out great. We're going to, once I put the lid on here, I'm going to cook it about 45 minutes. Get all that rice out. Put that back. Kind of mound this up a little bit. I'm going to put some butter on it, in it actually. Take some butter, cut it into, I cut it into long, like inch and a half strips. Okay. Make a hole, put your butter in it. As your rice steams, that butter will just spread throughout your rice. I'm going to do about 4 of them. Okay, perfect. Now, oh, where did I put my paper towels? Here they are. I'm going to get about 4 or 5 paper towels. I might need another one too. Okay, we're going to make a steam. When we put this lid on, we're going to steam our rice. So take the rest of your tea, your saffron tea, and just pour it right over top. That's enough liquid to steam this. Just pour it right on there. Take your paper towel, lay right on top. Be careful it doesn't hang too far over the edge because it'll catch on fire. Put your lid on, a heavy lid that sits on tightly. Put it right on top. And I'm going to move this to a back burner that's lower. Cook this about 45 minutes on low. There we go. We'll be back. So now I'm going to make my chili kebab, which is a ground beef kebab. I have 2 pounds of ground beef in here, and for every pound of ground beef, you want to add 1 medium to large sized onion. You can grate this with a box grater. I choose not to. I have my wonderful Cuisinart little food processor here. So I'm going to put my onions in there and 3 or 4 garlic cloves. Let me get that skin out of there. And grind it with my Cuisinart, one of my favorite little appliances. Let me see. Tap it on, turn it on. You really want a fine, minced, okay, should do it. There we go. You see, it's almost like a paste. All right, so put that in with your ground beef. This is 80-20. I like it. Fat has flavor. Okay. Pop all your onion in there. And to this mixture, for each pound of ground beef, add 1 egg and about a tablespoon of yogurt. Let me wipe my hands off here. Oh, those onions are going to make me cry again. This is my homemade yogurt. That's going to be another video, how I make yogurt. So a couple spoonfuls of yogurt into my egg mixture. Okay. Garlic. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of garlic powder in here. A couple shakes of turmeric, Mo and Anita's salt and pepper mixture, house seasoning, about 2 teaspoons of that, a generous shake of cinnamon. And for everybody that has commented on how much they missed the Mo and Anita's cheeseburger pizza, this is the cheeseburger that was on top of that pizza. So this is the why you love that cheeseburger pizza so much. This is a spice blend called Za'atar. Okay, about another tablespoon. Sumac, which is a sour lemony type flavor. I'm gonna put a generous amount of that in here, and a pinch of mint. A couple pinches of dried mint. And that's everything. Beat this up. Add it to your ground beef mixture. And then mix it up like you're making a meatloaf. Just mix it up really well. Okay. Pour that in. Oh, these onions make me cry. Okay, and get your hand in there. Mix it all together. And we're not gonna, you can cook this over charcoal. You can cook them on a barbecue grill, but I'm going to cook them for dinner tonight in a skillet on top of the stove. Or you could do it in a broiler in your oven as well. But it's really easy and quick. This is actually a quick meal to prepare anytime. Not a lot of special equipment needed. And I'm going to get my skillet over here. I'm using another cast iron skillet. Just going to cook it on the stove. Okay, that's mixing up. Just make sure everything's really well incorporated. Okay, let me get my skillet and I'll show you how to, you don't have to don't preheat your skillet for this. Just make sure it's something that you know is not going to stick. Okay, and I use this skillet all the time and I know it's not going to stick. Okay. This isn't hot, so it can sit right here on my cutting board. Put your ground beef mixture in here. You're just going to press it down. Kind of, I don't know if you can see that. It's like you're making a really big hamburger patty. And then I take my hand and just kind of form long cuts in it, like that, like a kebab shape. Okay, and then pull it apart with your hand. Try to make them somewhat uniform. That's all we're gonna do. And then you're gonna cook it on top of the stove. Do it pretty quickly here. So it's really just like frying a hamburger patty, but it's longer. And this is pretty long, so I'm going to take my knife that's here and just kind of cut it in half. All those onions and spices make me sneeze. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And put it on your stove. So put this kebab mixture on your stove. Turn your heat to about medium-low. I'm probably going to cook this about half an hour. So just turn your stove on, put a lid on it, okay? So these kebabs have been cooking. I wanted to show you how I turn them. I use an offset spatula like I use when I'm decorating a cake. But you're just going to go under. See how good they look? There's going to be a lot of liquid. Part of that's fat, but another part of that is the onion juice from where we ground up those onions. So they're frying in onion juice. So just use one of your offset spatulas and the other one on top of it and flip it over. Okay? And when I flip them over, I add a little bit of lemon juice, just right over the top. And let them keep cooking. So I'm going to make a chicken kebab for dinner tonight as well. And I just want to tell everyone, this This is boneless, skinless chicken breast that I have intentionally left partially frozen. It is easier to slice chicken, or actually any meat, if you're slicing it, if it's partially frozen. So just cut these into a cube, about like that. And I'm going to slice all this chicken up, and then I'll show you the spice mix that I'm going to put on top of it in just a second. Okay, I'm back with my chicken kebab. I've chopped up all of that boneless, skinless chicken breast. We're going to add lemon juice, a couple big squirts of lemon juice. Use fresh lemon juice if you have it. I just don't have any right now. Teaspoon of baking soda. It acts as a tenderizer. It will keep your meat really soft. Maybe 2 teaspoons. That's a lot of chicken. Okay. And then Mo and Anita's spice blend. Let's see. Probably a good couple teaspoons of that. This is the same spices that I put on the beef kebab. Just doing it on chicken now. Sumac, za'atar, which is roasted thyme and sesame seeds and sumac and salt. Put that on top. A little bit of mint. Onion powder, not a lot, maybe a teaspoon total of onion powder. Couple of teaspoons of garlic powder, dash of rose water, and that's it. Stir it around, and then let this sit about 15 to 20 minutes, and then we're going to fry it in a pan on the stovetop. Be right back. So the rice has been cooking about 50 minutes. I'm going to take the lid off. Smells so good in this kitchen, and this is very hot and heavy to flip over, so I'm going to have Mo come and flip it over for me. He's big and strong. So I wanted to make sure the tahdig, or the crispy tortilla crust, is done and I can hear it. So just take a knife or something, poke down there, and when you hear it, sounds crispy, it's done. So let me see if Mo's here. There he is. And I always get a tray. This is just a pizza tray. You can use a glass platter, whatever you want. So you need something bigger, quite a bit bigger than this, than whatever you cooked it in. Okay, here we go, Mo. Be careful, you don't burn yourself. Centered. Okay, see if it'll come off. Coming off. Oh my gosh, it looks beautiful. There, let me grab it out of the way. Or you can show it. Show it.
Go ahead.
This is so delicious. Can't wait to eat this. You see how crunchy that is on top? Okay. Dinner's almost ready. We'll show you plated up in just a second. So dinner's all done. I made quite a feast for tonight. I want to tell everybody, I don't eat the beef product, anything beef related or that I make, because I have alpha-gal. My daughter Faith and I both have alpha-gal syndrome, which makes us unable to eat any type of red meat products, or actually red meat, pork, lamb, anything, venison, anything like that. So I'm always making chicken. So I make 2 of everything at every dinner that I cook. But Mo is lucky enough to be able to eat anything. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to plate this up and show you how delicious it is. And this tahdig crispy rice crust that I made is one of the best things you'll ever eat. Marley really wants some. So I'm going to plate up. I'm going to plate up Mo's and mine. So here is, see, it comes out like a cake. And it's got that beautiful saffron aroma. Let me get mine. This is so crunchy, I can't, my spoon wasn't cutting it. Okay, here's mine. I'm gonna have my chicken kebab I cooked in my carbon steel pan. Okay. Oops. I know, Marley, I'll give you some in a minute. And then Mo can have both. Let me get some kebab here. And this is normally eaten with yogurt, my homemade yogurt. Okay. Okay, Mo, come on over. Oh, and I like sumac on mine too. Put a little bit of sumac on mine. Here's Mo.
Ooh, that looks great.
I know. Hope you like it. Get a little bit of my chicken.
Mmm, this is yummy.
Mm. This is so good.
Mm.
You like it?
It's really good.
Okay.
I'm
Thanks for
gonna
joining us.
take this with me.